Alright, check it out, man. Today, what I'm gonna speak about right here is your dog. Well, first of all, manhood. Welcome to my hood, kid. You know, that's the old topic there, manliness, but you already know, hustling for food, no real way, no get rich quick schemes. The only real way to get rich is to provide value. Welcome to my hood, cash. You already know, manhood. I just want to say, man, I'm gonna speak on, this for the fellas, your dogs versus your bras. And I ain't excluding the ladies or, downplaying the females or whatever, but as a gentleman, as a male myself, I'm gonna speak on, certain things, and it ain't no double standard. The same thing applies for the women too, because, the women and y'all female friends and companions and so on and so forth. But for the fellas, your dogs versus your bras, fellas, sometimes wonder why we hang around them same circles, man, with our partners, man, and this, that, and the fourth, kicking it with some of the most social circles, them running mates, so on and so forth. Your dogs, man, your dogs, them, you could count on them to be consistent, man, you could count on them to be consistent with, just with the time, the energy, they there for you. They don't, unless it's some bad blood or something like that right there, they hardly, rarely, too much flip-flop or whatever, Sometimes we just, we just choose not to hang with them for this reason or the third, Maybe they ain't doing what we see ourselves doing, and we just, we separate ourselves. But for the most part, man, you can count on your dogs when it's time to, when it's time to go out, when it's time to kick it, when it's time to chill, when it's time to, just have a good time, A lot of times they just, they just there, might be going through might be going through what they going through, but at the same time, pretty much they there, everybody got a life to live, and to each his own, to every man to each his own, and what the next man doing don't make the next man do his thing, that's the case. So they got a life to live, they men, with scruples or whatever. But you can count on your dogs, to pretty much be consistent. And not saying that that's always a good thing, It could be a bad thing too, Because sometimes you can outgrow certain friends and so on and so forth, and that's just what it is, Sometimes people outgrow each other, but for the most part, man, they there, You count on them rarely, like I said, if it ain't no bad blood, rarely switch up, or just, be acting funny for this reason or that reason, And on the flip side, your bros, if I'm just keeping it out 100 though, with your female friends, that thing might got a time limit on it, They got an expectation, They got a certain type of likeness, or this, that, and the fourth. A woman see with her eyes, a man think with his mind and his spirit, And a lot of times, women more fond of what they see. So if you ain't doing, as you a man, you ain't doing what she see fit in your in your life, and it ain't to her likeness or whatever, A lot of times they could switch sides, They'll switch sides on you, man, and go out to what their eyes see, Like I say, man, and the same thing go for the, women, y'all hang around y'all female companions, You'll be there for that, that shoulder for you to lean on, For you to cry to, for you to express your, thoughts and feelings about this dude or that dude and what they ain't doing, and how they, how they can and or whatever, It is what it is, But as far as the female male companions and the female companions, man, it's totally two different levels of expectations, man. And yeah, man, your dogs ain't liable to switch on you for the same reason. I know some credit dudes out there, and that's just what it is, Everybody ain't built the same, but they ain't gonna flip flop for the same reasons that a female would. If you with a woman, and I ain't saying it's a bad thing, I'm just speaking on the issue, because if you ain't on top of your game, you dealing with a woman, man, she see that, man, that might put a bad taste in her mouth, her likeness in you might waver, or she see you don't see fit, or she thinking, less than you, or she thinking she wear the pants or something, she might not, her likeness and her attractiveness to you might switch, but with your fellas, it ain't like that, you know, you like I say, man, you can pretty much count on them to be, you know what I mean, who they are, you know what I mean, for you, you know what I mean, just there in that moment, you know what I mean, what's up, bro, you know what I mean, I'm here, you know what I mean, but with the women, man, you gotta constantly and consistently, you know what I mean, build yourself up, man, you know what I mean, and put yourself, you know what I mean, in a category of they understanding, they likeness, you know what I mean, because like I say, man, they see with their eyes, man, you know what I mean, and I ain't hating on it. It just is what it is. You know what I mean. You know, that's why, you know what I mean. Shit, we men and they women. You know what I mean. But the truth of the matter, man. You know what I mean. You know, they liable to flip flop. You know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. They liable to flip flop on you, man. Change sides. You know, and that's why I just encourage, man. You know what I mean. You know, you stay on top of your game, and the same thing. You know, stay on top of your game. Stay about what you got to do. You know what I mean, and just, you know, continue to hold the ranks, man. Keep that thing on the chokehold. Whatever business you taking care of, man. You know what I mean. Wrap it around the neck and just hold it tight, man. Don't let go. Cause when you ain't at your best, man, you know what I mean. People see that, man, and you know what I mean. People, you know what I mean. The ladies see that, and you know what I mean. And you know their attention wavers, man. You know what I mean. So. You know, and it's just a token, man. You know what I mean? That's just a little, you know what I mean, for us to stay on our game. Because I don't know what dude don't want to be on top of his game, you know what I mean? Whether it's for the ladies or whatever, you know what I mean? Whether it should be for itself, you know what I mean? But the ladies feel the effect, you know what I mean? But a lot of times, man, dudes don't get as much credit as they deserve, you know what I mean? It ain't hard, you know what I mean? It ain't, I ain't saying it's hard or fair, but, you know, that's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? You could stick by a female, you know what I mean? And been there through thick and thin, but, you know what I mean? If things start to change, you know what I mean, they ain't gonna remember what, you know what I mean, what you did, you know what I mean, last week or that then and that, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, I get it, you know what I mean, everything has a expiration and a time date on it, you know, but, you know, that's why, you know what I mean, we, as dudes, man, you know, we keep our dogs, you know what I mean, you know, the ones we parlay with, and the same thing go for the women. Like I say, I ain't trying to bash them or y'all out there, you know what I mean, that's listening, you know what I mean, that's why you kick it with your homegirl, because them dudes, you know what I mean, they liable to switch sides too, you know what I mean, they liable to see something else that attract their eye, you know what I mean, and leave you in the wind, you know what I mean, that's just what it is. So females, y'all stay on top of y'all's too, man, you know what I mean, and that's just what it is, man. Your dogs versus your bras is definitely a different, man, you know what I mean, you can't put all your eggs in one basket and this one over here or this one over here, you know what I mean, never be, you know what I mean, if you know, man, I encourage you to separate if, you know, if your partners, man, because you are who you hang with. If your partners and them ain't doing what you doing, man, and you know what I mean, you know, if they on some sucker stuff, then, you know what I mean, birds of a feather flock together. Then, you know what I mean, you just a replica of what, you know what I mean, what you hang around, you know what I mean, and the same go, you know, on the flip side, man, you know what I mean, with the women, man, you know, yeah, man, stay on top of your game, man, you know what I mean, because, you know, once their attention starts to dissipate, man, and waver, man, you know what I mean, like, you know, your hair be gone, you know what I mean? She on the next thing to catch her eye, which she'll appear to be doing, would appear to be, you know what I mean, in a different aspect or light than what you doing, you know what I mean? You know, and this shit light on your game. So, man, just stay on top of yours, man. You know what I mean? Stay on top of yours, keep your stuff top notch, you know what I mean, to the T, you know what I mean, soldier down, you know what I mean, and don't let nothing get you down, man, you know what I mean? If the people you with, you know what I mean, don't want to stick with you when, you know what I mean, don't want to stick with you when you down, you know what I mean, maybe they tired, maybe you've been in that rut for too long, you know what I mean, and they expect different for you, you know what I mean, but you know, but just stay on top of yours, man, and if you ain't on top of it, man, just step it up as much as you can, man, and keep on stepping it up, you know what I mean, the ones that's, you know what I mean, the ones that's with you when you ain't had nothing, you know what I mean, when you come up, man, you know what I mean, you reward them, man, you know what I mean, because I know it get hard, especially when you trying to get yourself together, and then, you know what I mean, like I said, you ain't in the, you know, the most confident state or whatever, you know what I mean, and things go in disarray, and then, you know what I mean, your loved one, your spouse, you know what I mean, wanna, you know what I mean, give you a hard time, wanna separate, or, you know what I mean, pull themselves away or whatever. That's just another emotional, you know what I mean, that's just another another emotional hurdle you got to jump over, you know what I mean, but everything, you know what I mean, don't nothing last too long, and don't nothing last forever, man, and whatever you're going through, man, you will get over that, man, don't even worry about it. So, man, for the men out there and for the women, whatever you're going through, man, just stay on top of yours, man. Don't let nothing get you down. You know what I mean? If you want to stay where you trying to come up and you right now, man, you know what I mean? Maybe you need to be focusing on yourself, man. You know what I mean? If the ones that, you know what I mean, that you didn't been there with it, you know what I mean? You didn't spend time and energy and money with it, and they don't want to rock with you no more, man. Rock by yourself. you know what I mean, rock by yourself, man, and come up, man, and you know what I mean, and you stand on that, you know what I mean, and never let, you know what I mean, never get too down on yourself, man, and let nobody put you down, you know what I mean, because you worth way more than what you know what I mean, what you see at yourself at that moment, man. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, just keep it tight, man. Just stay on top of yours so you can head honcho the situation no matter how it go, no matter how it play out, man. Got to be boss at all times, except nothing less, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Defeat ain't even in the air. We ain't even breathing that. You know what I mean? We refuse to be defeated, man. Life getting at you, you know what I mean? We get in there and we fight back. That's just what we do, man. So here it is, man. This your boy Manhood, man. Like I say, man, apologize. I ain't trying to change the channel, but you know what I mean? Change the topic, man. But you know what I mean? You know, keep them real circles tight, man. Keep them real circles tight. You know what I mean? Whether it be male or female, you know what I mean? You nurture those relationships, man, you know what I mean? And stay down with who stayed down with you when it was hard, you know what I mean? When it was tough, you know what I mean? And let everything else go, because if, you know what I mean, if you was there once there for them, you know what I mean, and you had your, you know what I mean, and you had all the love and loyalty and faithfulness for them in the world, and you showed them you got their back and they don't want to be there, man, just let them go. Just let them go, man. Get rid of them, man, because they'll end up holding you down, you know what I mean? And, you know, you can't come up that way. So like I say, man, it's your boy Manhood, man, you know, and I'm just giving you another, you know what I mean, example of what life is on this end of the field, man. So y'all check me out, man, my HOODCAST, YouTube, you know what I mean, Apple Podcast, you know what I mean, Spotify, you know what I mean, Facebook, you know what I mean, IG, you know what I mean. Check me out, man. Get at me. I'm going to continue to keep dropping, so I'm going to keep dropping gang again, you know what I mean, just giving my life experiences, man, what I'm going through. I'm gonna come up myself, you feel me, right here in my little, you know what I mean, but it's all right, though. I'm just, I ain't on the decline. I'm the president, too, so, you know what I mean, shout out to everybody out there, man, that's keeping it 10 toes, man, and keeping it 10 toes with somebody that's done showed them they 10 toes, you know what I mean. That's what they love it right there. I see you.